Hi everybody and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. My name is Jeremy Tufts and I challenged myself to learn the game of golf only on my About Golf simulator and then attempt to break 80 for my very first ever round of golf outside. And along the way, as I shared my journey, I also began sharing my experience owning and building golf simulators in general. Today we're going to talk about something that you may come across when installing your very first or a replacement screen. It's a challenge that arises a little unexpectedly and, to be honest, makes your stomach drop a bit. And that's when you take this brand new screen out of its box and you hang it up and there's wrinkles and creases and you have no idea what to do. Today we're going to talk about the options. I'm going to explain to you what worked, what didn't work, and show you exactly how the entire process went sped up to actually getting a screen that looks smooth like this one. Let's talk about it. All right, so I'm gonna paint a scenario that was my scenario, but it's probably similar to yours, although maybe not as extreme, because that's why you're here watching this video. And then I'm gonna get into what Carl says, hey, here are your 4 options to fixing wrinkles or creases. And I'm gonna tell you what worked for me, and you're gonna be able to see what that process looked like as I'm speaking. So here's the scenario. You finally decided it's time to either install your very first impact screen and you want the best, or you're upgrading because, hey, you just put a bunch of money into your computer and your projector and you want that immersive 4K experience. Or you're looking for the best sound insulating screen because you're respecting others around you while you're playing, right? Or hey, you want something that's gonna last as long as possible. And that's why we spend the extra money on the Carl's Premium Impact Screen, right? So you order it, you spend the money, it shows up, the sticker says, hey, take me out of the box to avoid wrinkles. You immediately hang that bad boy up and bam, you've got creases on the entire thing. For me, that looked like a vertical crease every 12 inches along this entire screen. It was a crease, it wasn't a wrinkle. And then from a sloppy fold and a toss into a box where the corners had been folded a few times, like when you fold really thick paper, there were these pockets almost that were indented into the screen. So my first thought when I saw this was like, what? Like, really? And that's probably the same thought you have right now. And then the fear sets in of like, what am I gonna do? What is this even gonna look like to fix, right? So you just jump online and you Google it, you contact Carl's. If you contact Carl's, they'll send you that YouTube video they have that has 4 options to fix them. Let's talk about those. And as I talk, you're gonna see what I did. You're gonna see my process. You're gonna see halfway through, I did just the bottom. That'll give you a clean look of what the first round of steaming does comparative to unironed and ironed, okay? So option number 1 that they say is hang it, tension it. The material will more than likely relax and the wrinkles and creases will release. I hung it for 10 days, fully tensioned, did absolutely nothing. So I moved on to number 2, which I couldn't do, and that was to get a heat gun from behind. That one to me, honestly, it just doesn't sit well with me. Heat guns get hot really fast. I feel like a lot of people who don't have experience with them are just gonna end up burning the polyester, and I could see it causing a weird issue even from behind. I don't know if I'd wanna do that one anyway. So I couldn't get to it because I was already zip tied. I wasn't gonna re-zip tie just to try that. So I moved on to number 3, and that's utilizing a hand garment steamer. Now I don't have one, but I tracked one down. You can get them on Amazon or at Target from $30 to $150, and they all have their whatever marketing schemes to get you to spend more money. And I tried one of those. By the way, just a warning, be very careful about water spurting onto it. If you get a bunch of water on this screen and you don't dry it properly, you will get a brown ringed water spot, and that does not look good and it's not gonna come out. So really make sure that that water is not spurting out there if you are using a hand steamer especially, and then put a fan on, okay, to dry that off. Now, that hand garment steamer did absolutely nothing to the wrinkles and creases that I had on my screen. So once again, challenge accepted. We gotta get it at this point. I'm doing this channel to share with you all this crazy stuff, so I went hard. I happened to chat with a friend of mine who works in the costume industry in Hollywood, and she said, hey, I have a steamer that I think is gonna work. If this can't get it out, you better send it back. So the steamer that you see on video is a commercial steamer. I believe it cost around $350 retail. The really cool thing about it is it produced a good load of steam and it didn't spray water everywhere. I had a towel just in case, and then when I was done, I had a fan on it immediately overnight to make sure that it dried correctly. This took me an hour. It took me an hour of just nonsensical work that I did not want to do. Believe me, I was not happy about it. But you know what? It was embarrassing to film on a screen like that. I didn't like the fact that I was playing golf between jail bars because the creases really highlighted the greens and the blues. But take a look and you see halfway through, it started to work. This one was working. Now, after day one, I went in the house, woke up the next day, and most of them were back. So I had to steam it for a second time and ended up having to do it 3 times. However, as you can see, it doesn't look like anything on film, which is what I was after. Now, if I showed you in the right light, they're still there, but overall, we accomplished it. No brown marks that I have noticed yet, and I've got a nice screen to hit again. So hey, look, the moral of this story is it sucks. It's scary, but you know what? It's gonna be okay. Out of those 4 options for you to steam, sorry, the 4th option was a commercial steamer. I made that one up myself. Is just, it's gonna be okay. Like, you're watching this video for a reason. I'm telling you, take a big sigh of relief. It's gonna be okay. It might take you some time to figure it out. I do apologize for the fact that throughout this whole process, you have to spend extra money on stuff that you probably will never use again. If you do have really bad creases and wrinkles and you can rent a steamer, that's probably the best way to go because it's just gonna save you a lot of hassle and time, okay? So until then, please like, follow, and subscribe. If this tip helped you out, follow what I'm doing. I'm sharing a lot more than just this. Learning how to play golf on a simulator, all this, some tips and tricks along building, design, thought, all kinds of stuff around simulators itself, and I can probably teach you a lot more than that because I absolutely love it. I'm glad we were able to come through and fix that screen because, man, that was bad. And now I'm playing golf and I'm enjoying it, and it's getting behind me. I've forgotten about that already, so hey, we're moving forward. Until then, keep practicing.